Hey guys, today here with Doug aka The Reline coming at you today with another quick product video and the continuation of our small product series. In our intro video I explained the differences between your standard SATA-based SSD and the newer NVMe standard with a focus on Intel 750 series PCIe X4 NVMe 1.2TB SSD drive. In follow-up videos I showcased various tests and benchmarking in gaming. Today we're looking at a couple examples of productivity and workflow. First up, for photography testing, I'm utilizing Canon's Digital Photo Professional software. While Photoshop, Lightroom, and other tools are equally as amazing and I do suggest you use them, for me I feel that DPP gives me the closest approximation, settings adjustment and raw workflow, and fine-tuning for my cameras and needs. Here in this test, I simply timed loading a typical wedding client of about 2,750 photos for an all-day wedding, as well as exporting a small section. Now for my business, I wasn't too surprised to naturally see the loading be faster on the Intel SSD with its greater throughput. But what about exporting? Unfortunately, that's still relegated to being a CPU-driven task, whether Photoshop, Lightroom, or DPP, as disk I/O plays very little role, since images that are even 20 to 30 megapixels in size are still nowhere near strenuous enough for a disk bottleneck. But what makes the Intel drive shine is unfortunately something I could not really visually show and don't have footage of, so I can only speak about it objectively. That, my friends, is responsiveness. From handling loading the cropping tool to bulk applying batch settings to simply decoding images a little bit faster, I've seen a workflow improvement of between 10 and 25% while using the Intel drive. For a typical wedding we'll have many of this length in a single year, and where editing time is paramount, the Intel drive will literally save me hours of time. That is worth the cost. You should see similar results, however, in other photo editing programs. A regular SSD is fast, but this is even faster for general responsiveness. Next up, we have an exporting sequence in Premiere Pro CC 2015. I've utilized a chunk of gaming footage for this test at about 40 minutes long, with 4K 60 FPS settings at a high bitrate. Even though the captured files are moderately large, handling the heavy lifting of compressing and transcoding is still unfortunately predominantly a CPU-driven task. However, once you get to even larger 4K files, such as from a Canon 5D Mark IV, the Intel drive should in theory be able to scrub them faster, and so the merits of such a drive may be more important to you if you're working with 4K or higher footage. But for my Premiere exports, sadly, using the Intel drive compared to a typical SSD provided very little benefit, only a few seconds of save time. So basically with programs, especially programs that are heavily based on disk I/O, you'll probably see some benefit from moving to an NVMe based drive, but workloads in particular programs do vary. I attempted a file generation batching script for another YouTuber upon request, and for example in that video, the Intel drive was slightly slower. As always, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. If you're curious about boot times and a wrap-up overall, tune in next for the final video in the series. Again, thanks for watching.